we have a very important and interesting topic tonight to treat. I have a very short time, just 10 minutes, and I'll try my best to see how much we can do within this time. But I want you to pay keen attention because this is pivotal to everything that you are doing here, and very important to how much you'll be able to achieve in the long run. We have a topic before us: upskilling and reskilling, and these two things are very important. I'm just going to dive deep into about 5 to 7 frameworks that will give us clarity on what this is. I've jotted some things down and I'm just going to go through them and see how far we can achieve. The first is upskilling. What does it mean to upskill? Um, so upskill means to improve in expertise. It means that you know something already and you want to improve on that thing. All right. The knowledge is not completely foreign. There is something that you already know and you want to improve in that. That's what upskilling means. And what's the relevance of this? The relevance of this is to serve greater needs. It means that there are deeper levels or the higher levels of possibilities that lies within your skill, but it takes a greater skill set to be able to arrive at those levels. And because of that capacity to do bigger things or greater things, there's a need to actually upskill and get those possibilities. The reason why many persons today complain about not having jobs or not having opportunities is not because there are no opportunities, it's not because there are no jobs, it's because they lack the skill, all right, to work in the jobs that are necessary and needed today. And so many persons are just living the barest minimum. And I believe that at the end of this, you should be able to be triggered to look beyond what you can see right now and look further so that you can be able to see bigger possibilities and align yourself with those possibilities and take the right action. The second is reskilling. Reskilling is, I frame it into two phases. The first is relearn what you once had. All right. So there is a possibility of learning a particular skill, but dropping off from that skill, and there's a need to come back to that knowledge. Right. Even while you build and grow, there are certain things that you have to leave at a particular time because they're not relevant for the present moment. And so you'd have to focus on the necessary thing that allows you to be able to arrive at the desired outcome in the moment at the time. But the demands of tomorrow demand that you need to pick back that skill that you left to be able to build something in collaboration with what you already have to be able to arrive at the desired outcome. And so the need for reskilling. All right. The second phase of reskilling is to learn new skill to meet relevance. The best men on earth are skilled men. The more skills you attain within a particular field, within a particular rank, within a particular phase, makes you more relevant and makes you more superior. And so the person that stands at the top or the highest level is the person that has built enough skills on that particular level to be able to provide value to more persons. Right. So it is important to learn new skills to definitely reach relevance. So that's the second thing, upskilling, then reskilling. And definitely the relevance of this is to serve greater needs. Framing this, the demand of skill is to meet relevance. So the essence of we trying to build skills, whether we're upskilling or reskilling, is basically to arrive at what? Arrive at relevance. And relevance is important because it defines the moment. There are certain possibilities that we experience today because certain persons were pushed enough to build that capacity 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago to have that possibility today. Today, we are enjoying Telegram, we are enjoying a phone, a mobile phone, you are enjoying AutoCAD, you are enjoying a laptop. But that was not possible so many years ago. Steve Jobs had to dream that possibility, even though he was not directly an engineer. He had to dream that possibility and enforce that vision in the minds of the engineers that it felt like wickedness for them to be able to think and drive towards that kind of innovation to arrive at what we are enjoying today. And so Apple stands out in its exceptional deliveries in the market because of someone willing to think 20, 50 years before, sorry, 20, 50 years into the future to pinpoint what should be possible and what can be actualized, and believing that possibility now. And so even in the moment, it feels like that person is not in alignment with what is happening. But what happened? That person has pictured something beyond what now, and he has seen 10 years, he has seen 50 years to come, and then that becomes the driving force towards his action. That builds him, or that makes him take action, that builds something that becomes better for everybody to benefit tomorrow. And so, moment is important because everything only happens in the moment. Yesterday are for lessons. Tomorrow are for dreaming. Today is for living. Right? That's very, very important. It means that we can only live today. We can borrow lessons from tomorrow, from yesterday, and we can dream of the possibilities of tomorrow. And so you leverage on yesterday and leverage on the future to make the moment today relevant and important. All right. And this means that skills are relevant to be or make the moment better. Skills are relevant to be or make the moment better. And so the greatest experience we can experience in structural designs have not yet been born. Possibly you should be the one that should pivot those possibilities. But you would only stand at mediocrity if you do the barest minimum. And don't think you've started working because you have not. There are people right now that are not working in the ranks of what you're working. What you're trying to learn right now, it seems to be like the play for some persons. And so you shouldn't settle for less and feel so comfortable about the place where you are at right now, because people are doing greater and crazy stuff. Recently, I was watching a video about what's the name now? Is it Apple Campus? I looked at the design there and I was like, oh my god, who did this work and how we're able to make these possibilities? If you've not seen that, I really encourage you to go check that up. The Apple Campus, crazy beautiful stuff that was made, and it shows how much that a man can sit down, think deeper possibilities, and bend realities to fit into a new reality that he or she wants to achieve. So there is greater possibility that should be attained, or that can be attained. The next thing I want to talk about is the world at fast pace. The world at fast pace. The world at fast pace. This is a news flash. What was relevant yesterday is purely useless except for its lessons. Right? What was relevant yesterday is purely useless except for its lessons. And so if you stay so long in yesterday, you'll become lost into this reality. And so you won't enjoy today. Also, you'll miss out in the future. Because every time you lag behind, or every time you restrain from being present in the moment, you lose the future. And so the best bet to do is to look at what has happened yesterday and pick lessons and make use of those lessons today by dreaming of a better future that motivates your action and that motivates your attitude to do what is necessary. Speed is a commodity, not with fast movement. Speed is a commodity, not with fast movement, but bigger bets of leverage. Speed is a commodity, not with fast movement, but bigger bets of leverage. What this means is that your speed is not how fast you move, but it's how long term you can think. It is how bigger the leverage you have built around the things that you do holds you strong. And so the people that are fast are not the people that try to run fast in the present. They're the people that think farther, that think long term, that see 50 years from now. And so if all you do is structural engineering, or structural designs is within what is possible today, it means that you are doing the barest minimum. You've not started doing anything at all. Because trends are late. I'm going to get into that. That's really the next thing I'm going to talk about. All right. So those who act from in-depth understanding of long-term effects are always the winners. Those who act from in-depth understanding of long-term effects are always the winners. They borrowed yesterday's thoughts, technology, to apply today, thus hastening civilization. I'm going to read that again. Those who act from in-depth understanding of long-term effects are always the winners. They borrowed yesterday's thought technology to apply today, thus hastening civilization. So the faster we can experience new civilizations is our ability to think long-term. If you can think what structural designs or what possibilities should be able to happen in 50 years to come, and then start acting within that council of thought today, you are bringing a new civilization closer. And so that is what we can truly attest or say that is true relevance. I hope that sinks in. The next point on this particular words at fast pace is speed is an expression of long-term action other than short-term quickness. Right? Speed is an expression of long-term action other than short-term quickness. And so if you're acting within the council of long-term engagements, then you are faster. Don't be so present in the past and too comfortable in the moment that you can't dream for tomorrow. Number 4 thing I want to talk about is trends. Trends are late. Don't be late. Trends are late. Don't be late. Trends are late. Don't be late. Trends have roots. You should know this. Every time you see a trend, just know that it is late already. Every time a trend appears, it is already late. Trends have roots. They are a function of long-term iteration from the past that sum up into something that fits into today's demand. They are a function of long-term iterations from the past that sums up into something that fits into today's demands. So, you are late when you try to catch up with today's trends. You are late when you try to catch up with today's trends. It's simple. Trends are made, so don't be late to the game. What does not being late means? Not being late is peeping into the future from history, that's from history past, to today's actions. Sorry, not being late is peeping into the future from history's past to today's acts and tomorrow's plans, within predictions to actions for future good. I'm going to explain that. Well, let me say that again so you get it. Not being late is peeping into the future from history's past to today's acts and tomorrow's plans, within predictions to actions for future good. What it means is that you holistically pick the lessons of yesterday, the history. You have predictions based on yesterday's engagement and today's continuous engagement, and have an outlook of what is possible for tomorrow. And then you take action to beat that possibility for tomorrow. And so when people are yet engaging in today, you're already preparing for tomorrow. So when people arrive at tomorrow, which is the work that you have done, that becomes trend. While they are in the trend, you are in a new future. So that's that. But then, in this pursuit, something strikes very strong. You may fail, and that's fine, because what else is knowledge? Right? You may fail, and that's fine. What else is knowledge? It is your ability to actually learn. And so, failure is not failure. Failure is an opportunity to learn. So, try as much as possible to fail as much as you can, because that would aid you the possibility to learn and arrive at a beautiful success. And if you can hit the right success once, it's still relevant for long. Also, what is remarkable? What is valuable? What is rare? Have it, and the world will bend at your feet. What is remarkable? What is valuable? What is rare? Have it, and the world will bend at your feet. Anything that is remarkable that people can actually see and tell that this is just good, and they can speak about it, they can exclaim about it. And anything that is valuable, that is substantial, that is incredible, to make people's life better, to make people's life easier. And what is rare? It is unknown. It has never been accomplished before. It has never been seen. It is just exceptional. Do your best to have it, and the world will bend at your feet. In proper or simple terms, it means be so good that you can't be ignored. So basically, this is in summary of this point. Stay ahead of trends by thinking and acting long term. I'm already exhausted 10 minutes, but just give me a few minutes. Let me try and wrap up this. The right mindset is the next point. The right mindset. Don't be passionate, be a craftsman. Don't be passionate, be a craftsman. Why did I say so? Passion is a byproduct of craftsmanship. Passion is a byproduct of craftsmanship. The passion mindset focuses on the value your job is offering you. The passion mindset focuses on the value your job is offering you. So if you focus so much on the value that structural design, structural engineering, whatever is giving you, then you should have a passion mindset. The craftsman mindset focuses on the value of what you are offering the world. So you are not so concerned about what it can offer you. You are concerned about what you can offer the world. Because those that give are always bigger. Right? It's true. Those that give are always bigger. So basically, you can't act in passion if you have no value. You can't act in passion if you have no value. That is like very important. Because the sense of value is predicated upon what your ability to work enough. You become passionate in work, right? You become passionate in work. What I think I'm going to get to the next phase, which is the skills you need for great work. The skills you need for great work. The skills you need for great work. Great work demands rare and valuable skills, and those take time to build. So focus until you can't be wrong. This is very important. Great work demands rare and valuable skills, and those take time to build. So focus until you can't be wrong. I didn't say you should focus until you are right. Focus until you can't be wrong. That means that you have become so right that you can't be wrong. The work you love is the work you do. Because the work you do becomes the work you love. The work you love is the work you do. Because the work you do becomes the work you love. Therefore, a work not loved has not been well practiced. Right? A work not loved has not been well practiced. Only deliberate practice builds great work that you don't just love, but is loved by others, that is valuable enough to be remarkable. These are strong things to hold in your mind that guides and drive you to greater outcome. The next point, which is the last point before I summarize, is association. Association. Environment is your feedback. The wrong feedback mandates wrong diagnosis and facilitates wrong actions that becomes a circle of stupidity. I'll read that again. Environment is your feedback. The wrong feedback mandates wrong diagnosis and facilitates wrong actions that becomes a circle of stupidity. And so if you find yourself in the wrong environment, it always gives you the wrong feedback. And because you get the wrong feedback, you diagnose wrongly. And because you diagnose wrongly, it facilitates you to take an action that is wrong. And because you take that action that is wrong, it still gives you another feedback that is wrong. And so you continue in a circle of wrongs, which is basic stupidity. The right environment is your choicest weapon to thrive. Choose it wisely. The wise environment is your choicest weapon to thrive. Choose it wisely. How do you choose? What is its goal? What has it made of things or people that have associated with it? Use that data to make your judgment. Quite simple. Don't also forget that vision with action alignment is good credibility to begin with. Still within the association matrix. That don't also forget that vision with action alignment is good credibility to begin with. It means that someone might not necessarily have the result that you're looking out for, but from the vision that is picked, for example, social academy, there's from the vision that is picked and from the necessary action that's been taken within the council of the moment, that person is already in credibility. And so success is predictable. And because success is predictable, that is an environment that reinforces possibilities to get it your desired outcome. And this will be like my closing words. At the peak of wisdom, I know you guys will not explain this, but it's true. At the peak of wisdom, everything is vanity. Our greatest satisfaction or fulfillment is in becoming and aligning like our Creator, because that is His pleasure. So, if you find satisfaction, if you find fulfillment, it's basically making your life do all you can. Do all you can to make every day count. In closing, don't do the barest minimum. Do the highest maximum. Thank you very much, guys.